Looks like you're getting something special today, another Carpool Confession, the return edition. And what I want to talk to you about today when I hustle and flow, it's going to be directed more towards my military brothers and sisters, but the rest of y'all may want to listen in a little bit on this conversation. If not, go ahead and bounce out. But it's about one of those things I talk about a lot, and it's going to be that solar. So when you're PCS in here, you're going to have a lot of knocks on the door. You're going to go down to Sam's Club. You're going to go to Costco. You're going to go to Home Depot. You're going to go to Lowe's. I know y'all are. And you're going to get accosted, assaulted. You're not going to land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock is going to land on you. And it's going to be everybody trying to sell you one thing, solar. I'm going to tell you what nobody else is going to tell you. It's a scam. Because you're going to get here and they're going to be the most convincing salespeople in the world. They can sell snow and ice to native Alaskans. You can't say that E word anymore, but I can still eat a delicious Eskimo pie for some reason. I guess, I don't know, do they sell Eskimo pies? I haven't seen one in a minute. They're delicious, by the way. The reason I wanted to talk to you a little bit, because here's how I know it's a scam, and I've put it in some videos before. I helped a guy who I was stationed with. He's now a senior NCO. I'm not going to say at which base, but he rotated back and he drove a Tesla, or as the current commander-in-chief will say, a Tesla. And he contacted Tesla, or Tesla, and they sold him rooftop solar that was enough to charge his Tesla and to power his home for a very, 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 very low price. I mean, very low. I've known it was bad because as soon as you walk into any of these places, first thing they're going to do is they're going to cite this. It's a true study. They're going to say, you know what? It's going to increase the value of your home by over 4%. And they're citing a real study. Here's the problem. They only tell you half the story. They don't tell you the full story. They're like politicians. They're always lying. The study is real. There's different types of solar. The first one, which is very rare, is actually owned solar. Most people don't have the money to just go write a check and buy solar and pay $35,000 to $50,000 for solar. Based on what my boy paid, shows how much of a ripoff it is. He paid less than $10,000 from Tesla. That was enough to charge his Tesla and his house, and to increase the value of his house by 4%, which was more than double what he paid for the solar. But they'll charge you $35,000 to $50,000. Yeah, so most people don't have that kind of money. So then they'll do a payment plan, which they're glad to do for you. That does not increase the value of your house. So if you're on a payment plan, it's in the study, that will not increase the value of your house. You have to have paid off solar. Okay, well, next one is a lease. That does not increase the value of your house. As a matter of fact, it decreases the value of your house. Next was PPA, and that doesn't do anything for you. So the short of it is, with me sitting here, hopefully advising you when you PCS here, because they're going to come a knocking at your door. It's going to be that long line of people, even though you may have had to go and spend money. I know you, especially when you used your VA loan, if you used it right, because there's going to be another line of jinksters out there, hucksters, because they don't know how to use a VA loan, and they're going to try to convince you to use some other type of loan when you got the best loan in the world, a VA loan, which is the greatest gift that the American people gave you for your service, because they don't know how to use it right. They're going to tell you the wrong things and sit there and convince you to use something else. Did you know that only about 16% of eligible veterans and active duty members will use a VA loan? Did you know that? Why? Majority of lenders and realtors, because they don't understand it, will actually try to put you into a different loan. Can you believe that? Anyway, we're getting back to solar. So they will use their slickness. They will convince you. I've already had, I did this video on solar one time, and I said it won't take long before some solar person reaches out to me to tell me how wrong I was and I needed to be educated. By the way, I spent over 12 hours in solar education to go oh my goodness, people don't realize what they don't know. When someone has to spend their time trying to tell you that you don't know anything, and they need to educate you, and then they sit there. It's kind of like when you go to any of you ever bought a car before, and the car dealer sits there and tells you you don't know what you're talking about, and they pull out that four square, it's called the four square, and they steal your trade in, and when it's all done, the next morning you got like, what just happened to me? Yeah, that's what happens to you with solar. Tell me how it makes any sense, where if you're so-called saving money, but you've got to pay money for the solar. Let's say you have a lease, and the lease is $250 a month, and you're paying $250 to save money when your electric bill is $300 a month. Let's say that it is. And here's one of the things they do. They'll go and then they'll do an assessment of how much that you spend on electricity. An assessment. And I've seen this one so many times. So they'll say, okay, you need this amount of solar after their assessment. And then after a while you go like, well, I'm still paying an electric bill. Oh, well, we've made a mistake in our assessment. You know why they do the assessment and they figure out how, I don't know how you put it, undervalue your roof, whatever, the amount of solar you need, so that the numbers come out to where you need it. And then they go, oh, well, the performance isn't where we need it at. So we need to put X number of panels back on your roof or on your roof. And by the time they put those panels on your roof, guess what, my friends? You ready for this? You're paying the same or more than you would have paid for the electricity. Yeah, that's the trick they don't want you to know about. So hopefully this is a quick little video where you kind of understand one of the little perils of living here in Vegas when you PCS here. For those of you who aren't military, when you move here, my other fellow veterans, it's really bad. I can tell you one. I was in Phoenix almost to the day a year ago. I took a lift from the little conference I was at to the airport. I get in, the Lyft driver, she's like, where are you from? I'm like, I'm in Vegas. You guys have a lot of solar out there. I'm like, yeah, we do. She goes, can I ask you a question? Do you have solar? I was like, no, I don't. So what do you do? I'm a real estate agent. Can I tell you something? I'm like, what? You need to tell everybody, do not get solar. This is the Lyft driver. And then she tells me her stories. And it's kind of the stuff I'm telling you right now. Every time I sell a house and it has solar on it and it's leased, or it's, they have a loan or something like that, first thing they do is go like, we need to get rid of the solar. Then when they get an offer, the first question, and they're taking the solar? Yeah, if it's so good, why is that the first question I always get from the seller? So my fellow airmen, my fellow veterans, this is what is going on. I just wanted to warn you, this is your peril when you get here. If you purchase a home, the sharks are going to be out for you, trying to get you to buy something that is going to possibly do something bad for you financially. The numbers don't add out, and they're going to put stuff together to make it look like the numbers add up. But when you think about it in the light of day, those numbers don't add up. I hope I've given you a little bit of something to chew on. I don't have a dog in this fight, really, other than to warn you. Now, the only dog that I do have in this fight is there are home builders where they are starting to put solar on the homes, and it is part of the home. There is no extra payment. There is nothing extra. It is part of the home. One in particular I can think of, I don't have a dog in the fight on this, I'm just trying to tell you, is Beazer, B-E-A-Z-E-R. Their homes come with WITH solar. That's not an extra payment. It's nothing. They're actually net zero homes. So when you buy their homes, there is no electricity bill, okay? This is not a Beazer commercial or anything. I'm just passing on that theirs come with solar, and there are some other builders where they are making it part of the package. It is part of a package, it's not an extra payment or anything. They're not putting solar in and then going, oh, and then you have an extra payment of this or that. Some of the builders are recognizing it. And if you really think about it, if you go back to the now senior NCO who was an NCO back when we were stationed together, yeah, they realized this stuff, it's a joke. if they can put it on his house, enough to power the house and to charge his Tesla for under $10,000, that's what his cost was. Now, they may not offer that to everybody, because I'm going to tell you, I knew the guy when we were stationed together. He's the kind of guy who goes around, he's going to peck at everything. He may have just pecked and figured out the right thing to do. But if they're going to sell it to him for under $10,000 for a full roof of solar, then you know it costs less than 10. But they're selling it to you for 35 to 50, which means it costs a builder less than 10, which means it's really nothing for them to add it. So it's a good upsell for them, aka, hey, I got a house for you where it doesn't cost you anything for your electricity. So you're moving into a house that's not costing you anything, you don't have an electric bill, and then I'm telling you, it's a scam now. These solar panels don't cost these companies anything. Easiest way to figure it out, just go to Amazon. Price out what it costs for the panels. If they can sell it on Amazon for those prices, why does it cost you all of this money to have the solar company come out to put it on? Everything they're telling you is BS. So since I'm putting this out, even though it's really out for my military folk, everybody's watching this. I'm just laying it down for you. My military brothers and sisters, you do know the drill. Alpha, Mike, Foxtrot, everybody else, you know it. Still love you. Gonna keep them lights on for you. Right now, let me scoot this over a little bit just so you can put that QR code there, because some of you watch this on TV. You can go ahead and download some resources. So I'm gonna actually put 2 QR codes up for this one. First QR code, click on that. That is going to be for everybody. And the second QR code, that is to the military page. That is for those of you who are PCS&N. That gets you the military relocation guides and everything. So it's just 2 different codes. And then the next video that is going to be popping up, YouTube says you're going to love it. I'm going to meet you over there, and I hope to see you there.